that this list lost credibility when Sevan and Hiller were included on the poll. Of course, I like to, go a little jab in the side and say, you mean to gain credibility? Yo! Got three things that I want to talk about today, but it's going to start off with a list of names. Brian Spinn, John Young, Tyler Watkins, Sevan Matosi, and Chase Ingram, Peter CPW, Amanda Hari, Barclay Dale, Chad Schroeder, Sarah Beth Jumper, and Derek Brown. How many of those names do you know? They are media personalities in the space. Media personalities. I put that in quotes because of something that I'm going to bring up in a couple of seconds, but those are the 12 individuals from the media atmosphere that Brian Spinn from the Barbell Spin asked to collaborate on his top 25 poll for the 2023 CrossFit Games season. You may have seen that. That's about a month ago, 28, 29, 30 days ago. Got a message from Brian Spinn saying, hey, can you go from top to bottom on the men and the women's side and say where you think everyone's going to finish? I said, sure. He did that with those people, and then he threw them all into the melting pot, and then out comes Justin Medeiros, Pat Vellner, Jeff Adler, Roman Krennikov, Jason Hopper on the men's side, and on the women's side, you've got Laura Horvath, Daniel Brandon, Annie Thorisdottir, Emma Carey, and Emma Lawson. Names that I don't think anybody would really be surprised to finish in that order, so it was at the very, very, very minimum cool to see it come out like that after having asked these people. You'd think it was cool until you jumped into Reddit. No. Wait. And 28, 29, 30 days ago, like I said, there's a Reddit forum, thread, whatever you want to call it. Wait! New era of CrossFit Games rankings has begun. I was intrigued. I was included. I love Reddit. I love Reddit because people just don't hold back. It's kind of the way that I think everybody should be. Just don't hold back. I don't know. The number one comment on there is this just a metric that was invented to get Danny Spiegel to the games by some metric? Redundancy. Metric twice in one sentence. Bad. That's a no rep, Kemps. The original poster comes back to say, you do understand that this has nothing to do with CrossFit HQ, which...
Is that what you think? You think?
I hate when people don't understand that that was supposed to be funny, and obviously it's got nothing to do with CrossFit HQ, but I think and believe that CrossFit HQ should reach out to Barbell Spin, and they should ask him if they can use this somehow, some way in their live broadcast. Like, hey, this is what the media personalities in the CrossFit space, don't they do that with college football? Isn't it the entire idea behind it? They have just, but wait a minute, this might not roll over so well, especially according to the Reddit forum, where everyone seems to know everything, because they go down to say that this list lost credibility when Sevan and Hiller were included on the poll. Of course, I like to, go a little jab in the side and say, you mean to gain credibility? And then I always really like it when I got more of those little up arrows than the comment above it. So I got 18 up arrows. To Speed Racer 64's 14 up arrows. Yeah! And I don't really want to talk about myself too much, but I want to talk about Sevan. And I don't understand how this person, Speed Racer 64, and granted this was 28 days ago, and what I'm going to talk about is a recent thing, but the dude is interviewing every single games athlete. Why is this important? Well, I want to again bring up American Ninja Warrior. I don't know why I love American Ninja Warrior, but I can tell you why I think I do. It's because I know a couple of the people who competed on that show. I don't know them, but I feel like I know them, and that's what's important. It's the importance behind media, and it's important behind how they kind of set the stage for them about to run that course, because it's only a minute course, and if you do well, you get to run the course a couple of times. But I know Joe the Weatherman Morawski, I know Casey Catanzaro, I know Jesse Graff, and I know that Casey Catanzaro has a boyfriend that was also on the Sevan podcast at some point.
Bam, we're live. Got Brent Stephenson coming on, Ninja Warrior. He believes in some stuff that I'm very curious to hear him talk about. That the earth is flat, that we didn't land on the moon.
And he goes, oh, next are you going to have someone on who doesn't believe dinosaurs are real?
They're not.
Say it again?
Said they're not real, but go ahead.
Oh, good. Okay.
There are 3 athletes that I remember from a show that I watched 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. I don't remember, but it was a long time ago. And why do I remember those names? It's because Joe Morawski, the weatherman, has that weatherman thing attached to him. I remember that Jessie Graff has all of this stuff talking about how she loves superheroes, and that kind of led to her wearing a cape as she ran the course. And what Sevan's doing on his podcast right now is he's getting 4, 5, 6,000 people per episode watching, listening to, whether it be on YouTube Live. After the live show, people are catching up with people like Yele Hosta or Manon Agonies, or let's see, who else has he been interviewing recently? Kelly Baker, Arthur Semenoff, Christine Colenbrander, Rebecca Vidison, Bronislaw Winkowitz. He's got Carolyn Lambre, who is Jeff Adler's coach. He's got Adam Neiffer, who is freaking Justin Medeiros' coach. And if you don't keep up with this stuff, you're missing out, because you might get a connection to a Joe Morawski or a Casey Catanzaro or a Jesse Graff the same way that I remember them. And in 10 years in the future, you might be making a YouTube video about something that you're passionate passionate about and say, I remember when Sevan Matosian was interviewing all those people, and I remember when Adam Neiffer said that when people want to come into his affiliate saying that they want to be the next CrossFit Games champ, hey, you're the guy who trains Medeiros, right?
You train Justin Medeiros? You're the guy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I just tell him to show up and work out.
All right. Like, that's seriously, that's what you told him?
Mm-hmm. Come on to the 5:30 class. Jump in.
Adam, I was in here yesterday. You told me to come in 5:30 class. I'm here at 5:20, 10 minutes early, showing you my dedication. And there's a bunch of ladies in here. Didn't you hear me? I want to be like Justin.
Dude, that's where he started too.
I'm ready to, I want to push the champ. I want to be like the champ. Adam Neiffer says, yeah, we have a 5:30 class. You're going to work out with all these people. You'll find out that Rebecca Vidison and I think Yella Hoste are being coached by, the hell is the guy's name? He was at the games last year. I'm going to have to check. I hate when I have to check things. I like knowing things off the top of my head when I'm talking. Andre Houdet. They're being trained by Andre Houdet. I had to look it up. He finished 27th at the games last year, and I think that his training program is called No Shortcuts. But that's the only sort of stuff that you're going to hear as you're listening to the Sevan podcast. And then when you're watching the CrossFit Games and you're watching the Yele Hoste, or you're watching Rebecca Vidison, or maybe you're watching Bethany Flores, formerly known as Shadburn, or now I'm looking at the names over on the side. And then we're going to wrap it right back around into the Reddit forum where they're going to say that it lost credibility with Sevan.
Is that what you think? You think?
Are you out of your mind?
It doesn't matter!
If you're going to ask media personalities, who's more able to talk about the athletes and where they're going to finish than the one who's talked to every single athlete? He's invited every single one of the 80 individual athletes onto his freaking show. It's their loss if they aren't going to go on the show, by the way, because if you were to be at the CrossFit Games this year, and if you were to create a piece of content with a camera, walk around with the camera. Let's just say I had a camera here. I don't, and you were to walk up to somebody and he was to get a little bit of a tidbit before or after an event. And that tidbit was going to be on a YouTube station where it got upwards of 1 million views over the course of a 10-part series. It would be only in the benefit of the athlete from a lifelong connection to the ecosystem that is the CrossFit Games fan club to be part of that engagement that is possibly the podcast. And if not the podcast, at the very minimum, gas the dude up on the freaking camera. Not for the sake of him, but for the sake of you, because you're in front of the camera. No one sees him behind it. But that same dude has the most right to be talking about these athletes because he's spoken to all of them. I do have one more thing that I want to talk about, and that is this app. It's called Heat One. It's an app created by the same person who put together lawn chair leaderboarding. So if you were doing that last year, this is the next iteration of this, and it's in a cool sort of format where you can legit go onto your phone and put everything in. And right now it's got a pretty good number of people signed up. Holy crap, let's see, 387 total people signed up, and I think I saw James Sprigg at 344. So yeah, there are CrossFit Games competitors who are doing this thing too, and that's kind of cool. I bet he has himself winning, as he should. The dude's looking freaking jacked. But basically what this is it's a setup one time and you can do a top 10 for yourself. So at the beginning of this, you were listening to how Barbell Spin asked all the media sources for their top 25. You can go in here and you can click on this and you can set up your top 10 athletes. I'll just put this on the screen so you can see it. And then at the end of the weekend, you're gonna see how you stacked up against the other 380, 390. Probably it's gonna approach 1,000 people.
Do it! Just do it! Nothing is impossible! No! What are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!
So be part of that 1,000 people. I think he's got some sponsors in there. Let's see, he's got Strike Movement, and he was talking to a couple other people I know. But then he's got this one called Shot Caller as well, where event number 7, whatever, 8, the cross-country run is up, so I can choose who I think is going to win the cross-country run. Let's see, who do I think is going to win the cross-country run? I'm going to draft Jason Hopper, and on the women's side, who do I want to draft? Who's going to win cross-country run, Andrew? I bet Sydney Wells is going to be a popular pick for that one. Can I choose who's going to finish last? That should be a game, Tyler, by the way. Choose who you think's going to finish last, or bottom 3. Shot collar and bottom 3 would be a cool game to have. Choosing Daniel Brandon on the women's side. So I got Hopper and Daniel Brandon. Those are my people who I think are going to win the cross-country run at the moment. And you can go put yours in too. And I know that he's constantly making changes to it, but right now he's got these games, and these are 2 of the games where you can play against everybody. You can play your picks for each and every event as they are popping up. Tyler Watkins, of course, is included in that barbell spin poll. And I also he has the newest iteration, which I wanted to plug in earlier, but barbell spin has a updated top 25 where he's got Lauren Khalil, Mike Halpin, Wiki, Scott Scott Schweitzer, Jamie Latimer, Caleb Beaver, Will Brandsetter, Jason CF Media, Bill Grundler, and Robson Demore. So clearly Barbell Spin went into that Reddit forum and he said, hey, I'm going to actually ask Wiki. Maybe he asked Craig Ritchie. Maybe he asked Nate Edwardson too. I bet that Nate's too busy making all of this golf content where he's the golf superstar in YouTube now. He's too busy to play with us peons over here, but he does have Wiki, who has said, and he also has people outside of North America. So it's like, I bet this is a super North America poll. Well, he went to Robson Demores, who I believe is from the Brazil world, or wherever he is, he's not from North America.
You guys probably don't know about Robson. So he's actually in Brazil. He started creating a Substack over here and tracking Brazilian CrossFit, which is kind of cool. It's all in Portuguese.
So he's like Brazil's CrossFit news page.
Yeah. So he has a whole bunch of stuff in there about Kaique and Victoria. It's fairly new, but he seems to have some pretty good content on there. I reached out to him to try to get outside of the United States. I saw a few people saying, well, there's only people in the United States that are doing this.
So you Reddit people, thank you for being yourselves. Those are the three things. What were they again? The top 25, Sevon and what he's doing for the CrossFit world right now. And then the last thing was the app. What do you think about all these three things? Do you like this format of episode? Just kind of random crap that's on my mind all in one video? Let me hear it. Andrew Hiller, out.
Please smash that like button.
Do it!
No one told you
Just
they
do it!
announced
Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So
legend.
just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Some people dream of success, while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!